It's kind of like when you were a kid growing up and there was a fight in the schoolyard, and as soon as the kids start fighting, everybody started running to them. We're fascinated by that.
Literally, it was frightening. It was the sort of thing that if you had been close to it, you might have feared for your own safety. Never seen anything like it since.
Obviously, the intensity of the fight is very, very savage. Probably more savage than we realize.
There's a great deal of noise, a great deal of wheezing, snorting, grunting, and it actually was heard by a hunter in another blind about a half-mile away.
I've been hunting whitetails since 1941, and I've seen 4 really serious fights.
It's just such an unbelievable experience to be able to see 2 big bucks going after it. It's just amazing to see those kind of things, and unfortunately, too many people never get to see it.
There is a bond between deer and man, a sharing of something ancient, something mystical, a remembering of instincts lost, of legend, of drama. We honor the majestic white-tailed buck, keeper of the symbol, a crown of honor to be carried with style and flourish. He is strong of flesh and proud in spirit. He is a rare sight indeed, a sight long remembered, stirring feelings unexplained, a mystery to be cherished. Whitetail are fascinating creatures. Although they are probably the most numerous game species in North America, there is still a sense of mystery surrounding many of the actions displayed by whitetail at various times during the year. Much of this behavior is the result of reproductive cycles. Fighting among bucks is a direct result of the sexual life cycle of the whitetails. To better understand why bucks fight requires a closer look into the fascinating life cycle of the white-tailed deer. Deer go through tremendous biological changes during the year. Fawns are born in early June. Each newborn is the product of an uncaring father and a mother driven by her own instinct to survive. She alone becomes the devoted guardian and close companion to her new offspring. Her fawns mature quickly and remain constant companions until the first signs of the rutting period in the early fall. During this period, she begins to ignore them and gradually lessens her constant companionship, eventually leaving the young fawns on their own. Early in the fall, bucks herd together, forming bachelor groups. Herd dominance is the natural system for sustaining future herd development. Early in life, bucks begin to establish their place within the social order of the herd. Herd dominance is established in a variety of ways. When confronting another buck or doe, a simple glance may be enough to establish dominance. If more action is warranted, a buck might try a series of deliberate steps toward the challenger. He will stretch his neck as high as possible in order to tower over his subject. If none of these tactics succeed, physical confrontation might take place. This kind of confrontation is rare for bucks in velvet and is thought to be related to competition for food supplies.
During the time that they're in velvet, their antlers are real tender, and they're soft and pliable, and for the most part, they'll avoid even trying to touch anything with those antlers. So because of that, when they get up on their hind legs and slap at each other, which is typical of the does doing, they're doing it to protect their antlers primarily.
For bucks in velvet, confrontation is carried out with legs and hooves. Normally, assertive behavior and posture are effective, and no physical contact is necessary. As antlers start to harden and the velvet is stripped off, competition for herd dominance intensifies. Bucks pair off for the purpose of testing newly grown antlers.
The footage that I was able to get of the bucks fighting occurred on a ranch in South Texas just at the beginning of the rut, and it was very interesting to see how aggressive the deer became day after day after day. When we started initially, they were real close. They were real good buddies, but every day they needed a little bit more spatial separation, a little bit more spatial separation. Finally, they started kind of sparring a little bit, and then at a point, the sparring got real serious. The area where we photographed this is that we had quite a few bucks coming into an area that used to be a food plot. And the bucks would come in and they'd mill around a little bit, and pretty soon one of them would kind of hard stare at the other one, and one of them didn't like what the other one was, how he's looking at him, and they'd start sparring. On the day that we were able to get the footage that we did, the coon fronted past, and apparently their testosterone levels were such that they were very irritable at each other, and we were able to get several fights going on at one time. Very close to the food plot was a blind that was totally enclosed, where we could hide in where they were completely oblivious to the fact that we were even anywhere close. And they'd come real close to us without any problem. There were two particularly aggressive bucks that would start fighting with each other, and as soon as they got tired of fighting with each other, they would run to the next one and start a fight. And this other one would run to the next one and start a fight. And before we knew it, we had bucks fighting all over the field.
Most pairing is of bucks of the same approximate size. Pushing and shoving matches are fairly common, especially among younger bucks who have not yet been tested. Antlers are the most distinguishing feature of white-tailed deer, but their function is the least understood. It would not be unreasonable to conclude that if antlers were intended as weapons, does would have them too, and they would be kept year-round. But only in extreme situations will a buck use his antlers as a defensive weapon against predators. Antlers seem to be mainly related to breeding. They are an extension of the male sex organ, and their most useful purpose is in deciding herd dominance. Antlers distinguish bucks from the opposite sex and serve to rank them on the dominant scale, commonly referred to as the pecking order. The antler development cycle is controlled mainly by the hormone testosterone, the primary hormone secreted by the testicles. Testosterone levels are also influenced by the pituitary gland, a gland located below the brain and influenced by the amount of daylight available. The level of testosterone is increased early in the spring and initiates antler development. Antlers differ from horns in that they are solid bone that is shed or lost each year. Horns, such as seen on cattle and sheep, are never shed. A completely new set of antlers is developed every year. This growth consumes a tremendous amount of energy. Nature's system for providing the necessary nourishment for developing antlers is extremely complex. Antlers grow from pedicels on the buck's brow and are an outgrowth of the skeleton. Composed mostly of protein, calcium, and phosphorus, they are fed by 3 complete sets of arteries, which provide sufficient nourishment. They are nourished by a skin-like covering called velvet. Late in the summer, as the breeding season nears, the level of testosterone diminishes as the number of daylight hours decrease. The antlers mature, and the 3 arterial systems dry up and die. The soft velvet covering them starts to dry and will eventually crack and peel away. Bucks rub or polish their antlers on trees and bushes in an effort to remove velvet. During this development period, white-tailed bucks seem very docile and move around no more than is necessary to satisfy their own hunger and to take care of their developing antlers. Antler development is usually completed by August or September. As the buck finishes polishing his rack on tree limbs and bushes, the testosterone starts to signal a great desire to mate. Other physiological changes begin to occur in his body. The buck's testicles enlarge, descend, and start to produce sperm. His tarsal glands on the insides of his hocks start to secrete a strong, musky-smelling fluid. This fluid is an erotic attractant and stimulant to does. Eventually, this fluid turns the hair on the glands black and even stains the buck's legs. It is easy to identify a rutting buck by this dark stain. Deer are apparently aware of the differences in antler size.
Not only does he know it, is he conscious of the size of his antlers, he is conscious of the whereabouts in space of every part of those antlers. I watched a quite large buck one day in captivity stripping velvet on using a mesh wire fence. And I was amazed at the dexterity with which he could flick away a single little clinging piece of velvet that was hung at some obscure point back on one of the rear tines on his antlers. And furthermore, other deer in the herd are just as conscious of those antlers and just as conscious of their size and the comparative sizes of the various bucks in a given community.
The healthier and larger antlered bucks in a herd normally achieve dominance, and lesser deer will give way to them. Dominant bucks control the best eating spots, the best bedding spots, and generally do as they choose. The mere presence of a big antlered buck is usually sufficient to gain him this respect.
They usually don't fight unless they're pretty well matched in size and strength, not necessarily in antlers, but in body size. And they're pretty good at it. They manage to hold each other off quite successfully. It's a pushing contest, and by the time one of them realizes that he's outmatched, he doesn't hang around for reasons of pride or anything else. He's gone.
These challenges are usually settled with minor sparring matches. Both deer push and shove until the stronger buck wins. This kind of battle is not nearly as heated or violent as those that occur later in the breeding season.
Other than relatively minor wounds and scratches and minor punctures around the neck and shoulders and head and broken antler tines, I don't think deer are seriously injured very often in fights. I've never found the carcass of a buck that I thought died from a fight. I've seen a number that have died for all sorts of other reasons, broken necks and jumping fences and all sorts of other things, but I don't know that, other than two bucks getting locked up together and being unable to free themselves, I think it's quite rare that there's any serious injury, which is surprising when you see the ferocity with which they can get after each other.
These confrontations naturally establish the dominant bucks and rank them in social order so that the strongest genes will be passed on to succeeding generations. Bucks are ready for breeding long before most does. Cold weather further stimulates the buck's sexual desires. Sexual frustration sets in. He begins to travel constantly in search of a receptive doe, and he checks each one as he goes. This ensures that a large number of does are bred each season. A mature buck may breed as many as 40 or 50 times. During this intense search, a buck is very aggressive. He takes out his frustration on small bushes, tree limbs, fences, and anything else he can find to fight, sometimes with amusing results. Even small weeds and plants are not safe from an aggressive buck. Dominant bucks stake out their breeding domain. These areas are often much smaller than normal residential territories. Next, they begin to make breeding rubs. These breeding rubs differ from the rubs made earlier when the buck polished his antlers. Breeding rubs are made in a very violent manner. Bark may be completely removed from low-hanging tree limbs or trunks. Limbs and branches can be completely broken off by rubbing antlers. Breeding rubs will be scattered all over the buck's breeding area. And somewhere in his breeding territory, the buck will make one or more scrapes. A scrape is a pawed-out spot in the dirt usually located under low overhanging tree limbs. The buck will paw the ground vigorously and then stop to urinate in such a manner that urine runs down his leg and over his tarsal glands so that the smelly secretion is carried to the ground. He might then fight the overhanging tree limbs or nearby brush, again rubbing his preorbital glands. A scrape is the buck's sexual calling card. He may return to the scrape several times a day. If a receptive doe finds the scrape while the buck is not near, she will in turn urinate and leave her message. The buck will smell this message and seek her out. By now, he has only one thing on his mind: sex. And it's during this period that most bucks are taken by hunters. A rutting buck becomes so possessed by his search for receptive females that he becomes extremely careless. When a buck finds a receptive doe, he becomes her constant companion, mostly chasing her back and forth much like a cutting horse with a calf, courting her until she allows him to breed her. This courtship can last a few hours or a few days. Occasionally, a buck will leave his own territory in search of a doe. It is this trespassing into another dominant buck's territory that leads to most fighting. Dominant bucks are extremely protective of their territory and guard it jealously. When two territorial bucks contemplate combat, the first signs of aggression are displayed. Experts agree that most fights are territorial and are not fights over does.
Bucks are led to fight usually by does, which lead an intruding buck into the territory of another dominant buck. And there's argument about whether the two bucks are fighting over the doe herself, who may be standing there watching, or over the territory, but it's my belief that they're fighting over the territory. I have an idea that a lot of breeding activity overall and a lot of fights occur when there's no hunter out there to be aware of them. The biologists tell us that whitetails are perhaps the most aggressive of all American deer and that they do fight a lot, and I have no reason to doubt that in my observation.
The main reason that deer fight is to establish their dominance over the other bucks in that area. Occasionally you may see one where there's an infringement where two territories overlap or one buck wanders into another's territory, and they may fight. And there are other reasons, of course, such as possibly in problems with predators. When you get two bucks that are evenly matched fighting, it's amazing the amount of sound that they make. They'll grunt, they'll beller. There's no way that you can take rattling horns, hit them together hard enough, or clash them loud enough to duplicate the sounds that two really evenly matched bucks make, or the amount of rocks that roll if you're rocky country, or brush that's breaking, or the grunting, or the pushing, or just the complete exertion that these animals go through when they're fighting. It's just amazing the amount of energy that they use to try to get to each other. Most hunters are never fortunate enough to see a true buck fight. I've visited with hunters that have spent their entire life out in the brush or hunting up north and have never really seen two big bucks fight. Now, occasionally they'll see a couple of like little spikes or 3 points or 4 points, just kind of shove it around, each other around a little bit. But very seldom, if ever, do people get to see those serious fights.
Bucks probably fight for several different reasons. They fight, for one thing, to maintain a pecking order, more or less, a dominant structure. I think this is probably carried out on a year-round basis. It's by far the most obvious to people during the fall, because that's the time that the most people are in the woods to see it. They also fight over space or territory. It seems that each buck more or less stakes out a claim to a certain piece of real estate, and that's his property. The does on that property belong to him. Virtually everything on that property belongs to him. And if another buck crosses into his territory, there is liability of confrontation. I think that most people would be surprised at how much noise there actually is during one of these serious fights. A sparring match, again, is something slightly different from a serious fight. A sparring match is a matter of clattering horns, really. In a serious fight, it's virtually impossible to simulate by rattling antlers with your hands. You simply can't make that much noise. And while a lot of people have seen a serious fight, most people have not, and most people would be very surprised at the intensity of the noise and the intensity of the violence.
There's really no shame to backing out. Many a hunter has given up his rattling position when a big, mature buck charges within a few feet of his position in full battle pose.
Most all responses to rattling are exciting. The one I think I remember best was late one morning, about 10:30 or 11, and you got to have a lot of faith in the antlers to be rattling still at that time of day. And I had been rattling since dawn, moving along a few hundred yards and trying it in a new place. And I found a clearing near Uvalde, Texas, in the brush, and I sort of backed my back into a bush on the downwind side of the clearing and I was in camouflage, to be inconspicuous. And I hit the horns once, and I heard hooves start clattering in the gravel behind me, downwind. And here he came. And I mean, the instant he heard those horns, he was on his way at full gallop. I snatched up my rifle, which I'd laid on the ground beside me, and literally hurled myself sideways and started trying to find a hole in that bush that I had backed into that I could poke that rifle through. The deer burst out of the brush and charged me literally as though he were going to jump over me, and finally skidded to a stop close enough that he actually threw gravel on me.
It's not uncommon to rattle up several bucks at one setting when they're really coming to horn real well. There are times when we've had as many as 12 and 14 bucks around us. And that gets to be pretty exciting, because a lot of times they'll come in, they'll run in, some will run in, some will just kind of sneak in, and then occasionally when you have that many bucks together, occasionally you'll get a fight started between them. And that's happened on occasion when we've been out rattling.
The use of rattling techniques to attract bucks is no longer viewed as folklore. At the right place and at the right time, rattling is very effective.
Bucks come to rattling horns, in my opinion, in my judgment, simply because they believe the sounds they hear imply the intrusion of two other bucks in their own territories. They obviously think it's two bucks fighting. That's the basic reason they come to horns.
Rattling involves using two antlers to simulate the scraping and rattling sound made by two territorial bucks fighting. It is believed that the buck who answers the call of the rattled antlers is within his own territory and is seeking to protect it from intruders.
A friend and I were hunting down in brush country of South Texas, and he was after a really big buck. He had taken most of the North American big game species, but never a good whitetail deer. We found this place that we knew had some pretty good bucks on it, and we set up the hunt. We waited for a cold front to come through and decided the next morning would be just the ideal time to go out and rattle up this big buck. And I'd convinced him the best thing to do was for him to rattle up the buck and take him rather than me. I also talked to him about how deer are vocal, and I said that sometimes when two bucks really get in a fight, they grunt almost like a Brahmer calf. They go, ah. So the next morning, just about daylight, we drove out to this pear flat with a little bit of brush on the edge of it. I crawled up in a hunting rig, sent him with the rattling horns and gun out to the edge of this little point. He sat down there and waited a little bit, and he took the antlers and he tickled them together a little bit, and he scraped the brush a little bit, and he hit the horns together just real loud and went to grinding, and about that time he went, ah! And just about that same time, I saw him jump up, turn around, throw those antlers back in the brush, and start running to me just as fast as he could, just shouting and screaming and hollering and calling me all kinds of bad names. Right behind him was the biggest old horned, old ugly, meanest Bramer cow you've ever seen in your life, just right on his tail. What he had not realized is whenever he had walked there to sit down and start rattling, he had sat down right by a little calf that it was just born. And when Mama heard that calf, or thought she heard that calf go, ah, here she came, because she knew there were some coyotes or something after him. And it was questionable there for a while whether I was going to have to shoot the cow or whether the hunter was going to shoot me when he finally got back into us.
An actual serious breeding battle between two determined bucks is rare. The documentation of such drama is extraordinary. Witness the establishment of dominance by force. Barriers have been broken. Rules are suspended. The challengers are strong in muscle and strong in will. To the victor go the spoils. Since most fights are between bucks of equal size, they seldom hurt each other. Most fights are short. One buck will back off and leave the area. However, there are reports of vicious fights that have lasted as long as 30 minutes or more. These extended fights will cover a broader area.
I was picking up mounts at a camp, but I was still on the county road. And this is unreal. I thought there was a car wreck because there was 6 or 8 or 10 cars parked. And I slowed down, and then I realized that everyone was looking out in the field. And so my next thought was, hey, we've got a booming Crockett out there. Instead of that, we had a nice 8 or 10 point buck and looked like a little smaller 8-point buck that was really getting it on. And they weren't in the brush. There was brush, but they were in a pipeline, and there was enough traffic on the highway that once a car stopped, because deer were known to roam there, everyone wanted to see what was going on. And these boys, I mean, they were mixing it up, and they weren't worrying about any of the cars. I was actually on the deer was on my left, which put me on the opposite side. And someone recognized me and said, hey, Hibbler, these guys have been putting it on for 20 or 30 minutes. And he said, we'll get a break in just a minute. And about that time, sure enough, they stopped and laid down. And as they laid down, some of the cars drove off and others drove up, and wouldn't be long, they'd be back at it again. And it was unreal. Those deer didn't so much as even, when they was resting, they wouldn't even pay us any attention.
Occasionally, 2 bucks will become entangled or locked together. This is a very serious situation. Every hunting season, there are sightings of locked deer. Fortunately, these are rare.
We were out, I guess, about 30 minutes after daylight. 3 or 4 of my buddies and I were on top of a Suburban riding around, and the driver first noticed them because the rest of us were really looking off too far, I believe. And he thought it was one deer with tremendous amount of horns when he first spotted it.
Then he realized, because it's kind of foggy and it's pretty hard to see real good, and then he realized it was 2 deer that were locked, were fighting. So we jumped off our trucks and stuff and grabbed our cameras, and we were, well, about 70, 80 yards about as all as we were. But then they started running down the fence road. We had to chase them probably 400 or 500 yards before they were just running. They were locked, but still running side by each. And so they finally stopped, and then they were fighting, and so we started taking pictures of them while they were fighting.
They were really getting after it, flipping each other over, and one over on its back. I mean, the sand was flying. It was really something to see, knocking down the brush and falling through the cactus. One of them really wanted to get the other one. I think the one wanted to get away. But they were locked together, and it was really an experience.
And they'd thrown each other around on the ground, and they'd fight a little while, then they'd rest a little while, and then they'd start fighting again. And so we could get up and touch them, whatever. They just, for a while, they didn't even think, they act like we was even there.
And I guess this lasted probably about 45 minutes. We stayed with them. And we had taken all the pictures we wanted to take, used up all the camera film we had, I guess.
So then we tried to separate the deer just by hand. Then we realized we couldn't do it, or really didn't want us to be in front of one of them. We let them go. So Steve had a 30-30 in the vehicle, and so we took it and shot one of the tines off, and the deer had separated, and one of them took off, pretty good, but the other one, he was beat pretty good. He was just shaking his head pretty bad where the gun went off the side of his ear, but that's better than dying. They just went on off.
I feel sure I've never seen this before in my life, but you hear stories of them being locked together until either the coyotes get them or they starve to death. Would have been a shame to lose 2 specimens like this to just a wasteful death, I think. So I felt good we freed them. They were certainly good breeding stock for the area.
Well, one particular deer fight that we observed, it was probably the latter part of the deer fight. And it was midday. It was in November, a terribly warm day in November. And the boys, it was lunchtime, and they came down to the kitchen and asked if we'd like to go see some deer that were locked together. And it just so happened that I had my camera in my vehicle, and we took pictures of the what was left of the fight. The big deer was up, the small deer was down, We never could get them to stand both at the same time. And so the alternative was to release them, was take them apart. So we got some ropes. The boys, Roel and Robert Lee Galindo, roped the hind legs of the deer and tried to pull them apart. Well, they could not pull them apart with the ropes on the hind legs. So I went in with another rope and tried to separate them, and that didn't work either. So I had to put my rope down with my hands, pop up one of the horns over the brow tine of one of the deer. It was like a Chinese puzzle. The deer run about 20 yards behind a mesquite tree, stop, and start fighting again.
Hopelessly locked antlers usually result in death for both deer. As locked deer become exhausted from struggling, they either starve or they fall prey to predators.
One that I recall in particular is one that happened just north and east of Laredo. There were two bucks that apparently had gotten in a fight, gotten locked up. Over a period of time, one of the bucks died, and apparently predators had come in, possibly coyotes, and eaten everything of the one buck that had died. About 2 or 3 weeks later, the gentleman killed this buck that was still alive, and carrying on his head was just the head of the buck that apparently he had locked up with several days earlier.
The rut is over almost as quickly as it starts. Bucks and does have satisfied their biological urges, and their lives revert back to an easier pace. As this breeding orgy ends, the deer regain their life-saving instincts toward caution and alertness. They disappear into the cover of brush and forest to eat and regain their strength. The same bucks that entered the breeding season as magnificent trophy specimens have lost as much as 30% of their weight. Their once swelled muscular necks return to normal size. They have lost all interest in does and once again run in bachelor groups. For the most part, the buck herd concentrates its efforts in storing much-needed energy. In a hard winter, older dominant bucks who have worked so hard to perpetuate their species are sometimes sacrificed. This is nature's way and the buck's reason for existing.
Whitetail are a very fascinating animal in that their behavior is quite different throughout different periods of the year. Their antler development cycle is really something that still nobody really knows exactly what initiates it. Every year the antlers seem to get either a little bit bigger or sometimes they change. We see big bucks occasionally and then never ever see them again, but knowing that they're still alive, what happens to them? All this creates a mystique that has really interested me for as long as I can remember. We learn every day. Every time we think we know something, we find out that there's something else that we need to find out about before we can give the answer that we thought we had to start with. They're just a super interesting animal to work with.
A very interesting fight that occurred one time was we were out photographing. I was driving my four-wheel drive, and I saw a real nice 8-point buck. He was standing on the edge of a sand dune. And when the buck saw us, he spooked, ran over the hill, and I drove my truck up on top of the hill to get a good look at it. And apparently this buck ran into the territory of another buck, and those two bucks just really got it on. And this fight lasted about 10 seconds, I guess. Now, I had my camera out, and I started taking pictures of the fight. And the dominant buck ran the other buck off. And the most memorable thing about the fight was this real proud buck. He just defeated an adversary. He walked up on a hill and just proudly stood and watched. And I've got a really neat photograph of that.
Is that what it all comes down to? Just a trigger pull, and the smell of gunpowder, and a ringing in the ears? For the conscientious, well-informed modern hunter, there's much more to whitetail hunting than those final, fateful seconds of buck fever. As deer habitat continues to disappear, the necessity for hunters to learn more about their prey becomes vital, not only to ensure good hunting, but to preserve the quantity and quality of the deer population itself.
Any hunter looking for that extra edge can find an abundance of help from seminars, videos, and magazine articles. But anyone looking for an easy formula is quickly disappointed. The successful whitetail hunter, especially today, must have a sound knowledge of the animal and its environment. A major responsibility of today's hunter must be to preserve and improve the quality of whitetail hunting. Thought and action must be given to maintaining the whitetail environment and adjusting the harvest to allow deer populations to prosper. This program is about improving the hunter and the hunted. The hunter who practices and promotes game management techniques cannot help but improve his own hunting experience. He's a hunter who knows his quarry and realizes that his quarry depends on his stewardship for its survival. There is a great deal of difference between one hunter and the next, not only in whitetail knowledge and the physical ability to hunt, but in the very reason they enjoy hunting. This program is designed to give any lover of the majestic white-tailed deer, whether hunter or landowner, an informed perspective on the delicate relationship between man and beast. It's a perspective that can improve the availability and quality of white-tailed deer. Discovering what your goals are as a whitetail enthusiast is the first step in applying the whitetail information found in this program. The main objective of the hardcore whitetail hunter is most likely to find the best buck possible, a buck with a trophy rack. Others don't have the time or the means for intense hunting and are satisfied with a good buck. And still others place a higher priority on just getting away from it all and sharing the great outdoors with family and friends. The goals of a land manager are to improve the health and control the population and composition of his herd.
Keep your own personal goals in mind as you view. You'll find that information that seems to apply to landowners only will help you recognize a promising hunting area. Any addition to your information about whitetails will help you realize your goals.
Because of traditional views, some might discount the findings of modern research. But modern whitetail research has added much to what has been handed down from hunter to hunter over generations of the American hunting tradition. So the place to begin in gaining a perspective on whitetail information might be in a brief look at the history of whitetail hunting. In the early 1900s, the main objective of deer hunting was to obtain meat and leather. Even today, for some, part of the fun of hunting is to imagine, as they stalk their prey, that they are indeed one of these early woodsmen, miles from the cabin and in search of a necessity of life. For those early hunters, age, sex, and antler size was of little concern. Even so, most of the deer taken were of enviable quality. As hunting became more recreational, looking for trophies became popular. Game laws were enacted, including laws to protect does. This placed even more pressure on the buck population. Early in the 1940s, deer numbers were low, and hunting areas were large and inaccessible. Because of smaller deer populations, forage was abundant, and bucks were able to develop to their greatest potential. During the 40s and 50s, excellent hunting was available, and a significant number of truly great whitetail bucks were taken. But by the late 50s, accessibility to much of the country had been opened up through road development. Although deer numbers were increasing, so were the number of hunters. Increased hunting pressure continued throughout the 1960s and 70s. Very little country was left unhunted. Overpopulation and the over-harvesting of bucks ushered in a general decline in quality. As is usually the case, progress has brought about the need for man to reconsider his relationship with the environment. Today, deer numbers are greater than ever, but poor nourishment and the harvesting of bucks prior to their maturity has taken its toll. Fewer outstanding bucks are taken today than during the 40s and 50s. Modern management techniques and knowledgeable hunters will be major contributors to improving the quality and numbers in today's deer herds. The structure of a deer herd, like the balance of nature itself, is very sensitive. The makeup of the whitetail's environment will dictate the fabric of the herd. The environment or habitat of the whitetail deer is dependent on many factors, all of which should be of keen interest to the hunter and the land manager. Nutrition, population, herd composition, deer harvesting, and predation all play a role in determining such things as antler growth and numbers within a deer herd. A working knowledge of the makeup of a healthy deer habitat allows the land managers to manipulate his deer herd in order to meet his goals. Such knowledge also allows the hunter to evaluate a habitat for its potential as a promising hunting area. A good whitetail deer habitat consists of good cover, plentiful food supplies, and a good supply of water. Cover is necessary for protection from predators, including man, and also provides shelter during adverse weather. Whitetail deer require a balanced diet of browse and forbs. 16% protein is the accepted norm necessary for a healthy, reproductive deer herd. Deer, for the most part, cannot utilize grass. A deer's digestive system cannot convert it into energy, so primarily he eats forbs, broadleaf forbs, or weeds as most people call them, woody browse, leaves and twigs, mast crops such as acorns, pecans, and fruits such as apples, blueberries, and persimmons. They don't eat a whole lot of any one thing, and are very selective. To produce a quality deer herd, there must be more than sufficient food for that herd to survive in the worst of times. When a nutritional die-off occurs, it affects the fawns and the older aged bucks, both of which are important to a deer management program. By having a variety of plant species available, there will be something for the deer to eat on a daily basis and not just seasonally. Large deer are not consistently found in areas where springtime protein levels are high but drop down during late summer and wintertime. The more consistent the level of nutrients available on a day-to-day basis, the better the quality of deer produced.
Whitetail deer have basically the same nutritional needs as all other organisms, that being a 16 to 18% protein diet on a day-to-day basis, along with a good dose of vitamin and minerals in the proper ratios. If deer are provided with that sort of nutritional level, then all the animals on that piece of property benefit, including the songbirds and the non-game species. A wonderful byproduct of managing far quality whitetail deer is that it creates a diversified habitat. If the nutritional level is such that the whitetail deer suffer, then so do all the other animals on that property.
Concentrating on whitetail improvement can only improve the natural balance of other wildlife species. When competition between cattle and deer is present in a habitat, a rotational grazing system can be established so that some pasture is void of cattle at all times. Cattle basically eat grass, but they also eat many of the small nutritious forbs that deer utilize. When grass is depleted by overgrazing, livestock will compete with deer for whatever food is available. In states where it is legal, supplemental feeding and food plots are very desirable methods of increasing the nutritional level of any habitat. Food plots can provide a very high level of nutrition during periods of low nutrition. Winter food plots can consist of oats, winter wheat, triticale, and Austrian winter peas. All of these will attract deer. Oats provide the lowest level of nutrition, while the Austrian winter peas provide the highest. Food plots in late spring and early summer can be planted in sorghum, high gear, alfalfa, clover, soybeans, or summer peas such as black eye, Chinese reds, or cowpeas. Where several food plots are available in one area, their growth stage should be staggered so that there will be something available for the deer to eat on a day-to-day basis. Food plots also tempt whitetails into a routine that makes them easier to observe. By encouraging the animals to come out to food plots, the landowner and hunter have a good means of evaluating the age, growth, and health of the herd. A good visual appraisal comparing body weight to age and antler growth to age can help determine whether the nutritional level of the habitat is producing what the herd should be capable of at that age.
Supplemental feeding can be very helpful. Such feeding programs should be done using a high-quality 16 to 20% protein game pellet distributed evenly throughout the ranch in feeding troughs. A game pellet is recommended over such whole grains as corn. While corn is high in fats and carbohydrates and energy, it is very low in needed protein.
If there is a real deficiency in any particular mineral in the soil of the habitat, there will be a tendency for deer to crave that particular mineral. Deer will utilize mineral supplements set up as natural mineral licks. This allows such deficiencies to be corrected. There are times of the year when deer have an increased need for calcium and phosphorus, such as during the antler growth period. Does need a higher intake of calcium phosphorus during pregnancy, so it is beneficial for these minerals to be available on a day-to-day basis. If any supplemental feeding is done to attract deer during hunting season, it should be continued through the late winter until spring greenout. This will help the deer get through this period of nutritional stress. Although some habitats will support more deer than others, a careful analysis of the available nutrition will reveal what can be done to improve the deer supporting capabilities of any area. There are so many variables involved in the proper balancing of any wildlife habitat that the help of an experienced wildlife biologist is invaluable. A biologist can help in determining the direction improvement should take. He is experienced in evaluating the nutritional condition of any range and recommending the best methods of manipulating that range to meet specific goals. Regardless of whether these goals include greater numbers, more bucks, or more mature bucks, the guidelines set up by an experienced biologist will be extremely helpful. Even under the best of conditions, there is a limit to the ability of any habitat to improve proper nutrition of a deer herd. Overpopulation must be avoided. White-tailed deer will essentially eat themselves out of house and home, but because of their reproductive capacity, the population can recover quite rapidly. However, it takes a long time for the habitat to rebuild lost nutrients, and lost nutrition will cause die-offs. The first indication of overpopulation is a reduction in body weight. Another indicator is poor antler growth. In the doe population, a reduction in the average number of fawns per doe and small fawn size may indicate overpopulation. Carrying capacity is the point at or below which a deer population can perform at maximum efficiency. Carrying capacity must influence the nature of all improvements to any habitat. Carrying capacity is usually expressed in acres per deer. This number is determined over several years of observation and in fact will vary from year to year based on the condition of the range. The first step in controlling population is to obtain population counts by taking a census. Regardless of the census technique used, it is vital to get an accurate estimate of the number of whitetail in the habitat. Many of the guidelines for improving a habitat are based on the numbers and composition of the deer herd. The most common census techniques are aerial surveys and spotlighting. The terrain and vegetation present will most likely determine the best method of surveying any given range. For aerial surveying, the helicopter works well over short, dense brush. It probably would not work well in an area covered by tall pine trees. A helicopter provides a platform that can slow down for a better evaluation of individual bucks. This can allow for a very good estimate of herd compositions and density. The accuracy of this estimate, however, depends on the experience of the observer and the density of the brush. A helicopter survey involves flying adjacent transects and counting the deer that are within these areas. An airplane can perform surveys by flying a line and counting everything for a predetermined distance on either side of the plane. Aerial surveys are an effective means of gathering number and composition information. Another popular census-taking technique is spotlighting. A spotlight line works well where the visibility is at least 100 to 150 yards off the road. 1 hour after sunset, a predetermined line that covers several types of habitat is driven by vehicle. The line should be about 10 miles long if possible. Observers using spotlights count the animals on either side of the vehicle. Every deer is counted and classified by age and sex. Formulas also allow this information to determine a density figure. Regardless of the census-taking method used, the importance of an accurate census cannot be overemphasized. Without a good knowledge of herd composition, harvest rates and nutritional improvements are very difficult. Using the census information, deer numbers and composition are studied to determine the buck-to-doe ratio, the reproduction and age structure, the general health of the herd, and the carrying capacity of the land. Based on this information, harvest recommendations are made that will bring the carrying capacity to a level appropriate for the habitat. Some form of census must be taken each year, usually just before the hunting season, so that harvest rates for that year can be determined. An inevitable part of improving a deer herd falls to the chore of record keeping. Proper evaluation of census and harvest data is impossible without accurate record keeping. Harvest records must contain information about age, weight, and antler measurements. Such information can reveal trends and give some indication as to whether the herd is improving. In a well-balanced deer herd, there will be a good blend of animals in all age classes. The selection of which animals should be harvested is based on the goals of the land manager. Fawns are naturally born at an average of 1 male and 1 female. If a 1-to-1 ratio has not yet been achieved, then the composition of the harvest will vary. To maintain a 1-to-1 buck-doe ratio, 1 doe should be harvested for each buck taken. In most unimproved areas, there is a surplus of does and a shortage of bucks. In some areas, hunting pressure has been so great that there is an extreme shortage of bucks. In such cases, the harvesting of does and a drastic decrease in the harvesting of bucks is necessary to bring the buck-doe ratio to the normal balance that nature intended. The number of total animals harvested each year will depend on such factors as the carrying capacity, the reproductive success of the herd, and the condition of the habitat. When harvesting does, the age of the doe is not important, but if the goal of the manager is to improve the number of trophy bucks, then careful consideration must be given to which bucks are harvested.
Hunting pressure should be placed on inferior bucks and big mature bucks. These are the two extremes of the buck segment. For the most part, inferior bucks, such as spikes, will never develop into quality mature animals. Leave the small-bodied 6- and 8-point bucks. They need the opportunity to mature. The overharvesting of any one age class will eventually bring about an overall shortage of bucks in that age class. It is a common misconception that spikes remain spikes the rest of their lives. They can get bigger, but no one knows how big they're going to get. Spikes are caused from poor nutrition, delivery from an extremely young doe, disease, and possibly genetics. Work is being done on all 4 categories. However, at this time, nutrition seems to be the most important factor. A spike is going to grow as any deer is going to grow. A spike will develop as any deer will develop given certain conditions. However, a spike is not going to develop to the point where he's going to be valuable in any deer herd. If there's a 6- or 8-point yearling buck out there of the same age as a spike, it seems silly to me to keep the spike and harvest the 6 and 8 points. There should be some protection afforded to the young quality deer. A spike may develop and get bigger. He may have 7 or 8, 9 points when he matures, but he'll be far less desirable than the other buck fawns or buck yearlings of the same age that had 6 or 8 points.
Under good habitat and herd conditions, a buck herd can be improved by harvesting spikes, does, and inferior bucks regardless of age. Obviously, in order to take inferior deer, the hunter must be able to age deer on the hoof. In fact, the ability to age deer in the field is very useful in harvesting any class of buck. With some experience, the age of a deer can be determined while looking at him out in the pasture. Deer age as gracefully as people. By observing the size and shape of the body, a close estimate of the deer's age is possible. A young deer during the rut will have a very small neck. Use the points of the jaw as a measuring guide. He'll also have a slender, dainty body and very tight skin about the face. A middle-aged deer will have a little flabbiness about the face, a big neck, and a fairly slender body. During the rut, he'll look very large in the shoulders. Just like his human counterpart, an older buck, 8 years or older, will have a real flabby face with a lot of skin around his neck. He may have a real big neck and will probably be pot-bellied. He will stand and move as if he had arthritis. The ability to age deer on the hoof is a very important asset in controlling which animals are harvested. It is a skill that all deer enthusiasts should acquire. A traditional misconception in harvesting is to assume that in order to improve the quality of the herd, no bucks below 8 points should be taken.
The misconception concerning the 8-point rule is that a buck must have 8 points to be taken or harvested. If you limit that, then a yearling buck with 8 points and a 2-year-old buck with 8 points are legal to take, or at least according to the hunters. Spikes, 2 points, whatever, spikes and inferior bucks, 6 and 7 point bucks that are older are going to be left to do the bulk of the breeding after a number of years in the program. Spikes should be taken, and 6 and 8 point bucks, yearling bucks, should be left.
The 8 or more point rule is not a good management concept because it leans the harvest toward the young age class buck. But if it is to be used, then a good ability to age deer on the hoof is a necessity. It's better just to take a percentage of the overall standing buck herd.
There are 3 factors necessary for a buck to reach trophy status: age, nutrition, and genetics. A buck has to be old enough. The prime years for antler development are 5 years old or older. At 4.5 years of age, a whitetail buck has reached the potential of his body development. 5.5 years and up, all of his food intake goes towards antler development instead of body growth.
He must have had adequate nutrition throughout his lifetime, and he must have good genetics. White-tailed deer have a very high capacity for reproduction. Under good range conditions, most prime-age white-tailed does, 2.5 to 7.5 years old, will give birth to twin fawns. Single births are the rule for does giving birth for the first time. Under good range conditions, 50 does may actually raise more fawns to weaning than 100 does under crowded, poor conditions. Nearly all white-tailed does breed yearly under good conditions. Does that do not raise fawns most likely suffer from poor habitat conditions or some other natural condition. Research has shown conclusively that there are practically no barren does in healthy, well-balanced deer herds. In healthy herds with proper buck-doe ratios and good age structure, most of the breeding is done by the largest dominant males in the herd. In that way, the very best genetic qualities of the herd are passed on. A buck is capable of breeding from the time he rubs the velvet from his antlers until shortly after shedding the antlers themselves. The rut, or peak of the breeding season, is a 10-day to 2-week period of time when most of the adult does are receptive. During the rut, bucks are less concerned about eating and protecting themselves. Their primary interest is in finding receptive does. They are more active and more visible during this period than any other time of year. They eat less, fight with other bucks, travel over a larger area, and engage in various breeding rituals. All of these activities are extremely stressful and may cause the buck to lose as much as 25% of his body weight. Rubbing, scraping, and fighting are breeding rituals that occur throughout the breeding season. By becoming familiar with the purpose of these activities, a hunter can enhance his ability to evaluate the presence of deer and increase his chance of sighting desirable bucks. A clear indication of the activities of bucks in an area is the presence of rubs. A buck will rub his antlers on bushes and trees to clean off the velvet, and will continue to polish and rub his antlers throughout the breeding season. A scrape is an area of ground which has been pawed or dug out by a buck's front feet. It's usually found underneath the overhanging branches of trees or bushes. By rubbing his preorbital gland on the overhanging branches and by urinating in the scraped area, bucks create a scent-laden area that attracts receptive does. The scrape is a valuable clue to the hunter that sooner or later a buck will come to that scrape in search of a receptive doe or to reactivate the scrape with its scent. One of the most exciting ways to attract a buck during the rut is by horn rattling. Bucks often lock horns in real and mock battles over does. By simulating the sounds of two bucks fighting, any number of bucks can be encouraged to venture into the open in search of does near the location of the fight. Improving the quality of any habitat is a substantial investment in time and money. It takes a tremendous commitment, but in many instances, these efforts can be greatly affected or even nullified without some means of protecting the habitat from outside influences. Ideally, there should never be a need for high fencing, but modern environmental conditions have made it a necessity for some. The purpose of fencing in an intensive improvement program is more for keeping outside influences out than for keeping deer in. Because of the nutritional improvements to the habitat, there is an understandable tendency for it to draw animals in from neighboring ranges. High fencing also contributes to controlling predator populations. On property where selective harvesting is used to improve the quality of the herd, the effects of random harvesting by natural predators is an undesirable activity. Unfortunately, the most detrimental outside predation comes in the form of poaching. On any property where quality deer thrive, consideration must be given to controlling the poacher. High fencing also allows the landowner to overcome the poor practices of his neighbor. If a landowner is plagued with overhunting around the perimeters of his property, a deer fence can solve the problem. High fencing does not adversely affect the habits or the hunting of white-tailed deer. The deer are just as wary and hard to hunt as they would be without the fence. High fencing allows bucks to mature without the danger of outside influence and does not add substantially to the cost of conventional fencing. A high fence can provide better containment for cattle and add to property values. Although some progress may be seen during the first 3 years of an improvement program, substantial results should not be expected for the first 5 years. Look for fawns born after the habitat was improved to carry the results of the improvement efforts.
Because of management, we have more whitetails today in North America than ever before. Prairies have been changed into farmland and interspersed with creeks. Grasslands have been converted to brushy habitat. Mature forest has been set back so that climax vegetation is within the reach of the animals. There's much more edge effect, and white-tailed deer are animals of the edges. Today we have more roads, more people, more development of every kind. As our civilization expands and wildlife habitat shrinks, improvement programs become more and more important.
In a short while, there'll be a big dinner party here. There'll be plenty of food and drink and music. As the party goes on, some of those partygoers won't be feeling so well. Heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach. For most common stomach discomforts, from here to here, they can all take one remarkable medicine for relief, Pepto-Bismol. As it coats, Pepto-Bismol relieves what's wrong. The heartburn, the upset stomach, even diarrhea. Relieves it, then leaves the protective coating behind. Can your stomach medicine do that? Pepto-Bismol. For most common stomach discomforts, the one that coats is the only one you need.
So where's Beth?
You're a funny guy.
Where is she? I want my little girl.
Leave me alone.
I'll call the cops.
You do that.
You better tell me where my Beth is.
What's the matter? Is she keeping tabs on her every move anymore?
Look, I don't know what kind of game it is you're playing, Spaulding. But her note said that she was going to... Don't play innocent with me. You put her up to this. She left home.
She left home? I'll be damned. And you don't know where she is?
Oh, sure I do. She came running right to you, buddy boy.
Oh, no, she didn't. No, if Beth left home, she did it all on her own.
Oh, yeah? Where were you last night?
I don't have to tell you that.
Where'd you take her? Huh? Well, your usual straw and manure here wasn't good enough for her?
Get out of here.
You better watch yourself. I got a court order against you. My little girl is still underage. The law is on my side.
No, that's where you're wrong. The law is on my side. You see, I don't live here anymore. I moved in with the DA. Mm-hmm. And that's where I was last night. Why don't you go talk to him? Think you can take his word for it?
You really weren't with her?
No.
And you don't know where she went?
I wish I did. And I wish I had something to do with her finally getting away from you. But I didn't.
Well, how about that? She didn't go running to her lover boy.
Get out of here. You're trespassing.
You stay away from her, Spaulding. I can still send you to jail.
Let me tell you, if she wants any kind of help from me, she'll get it.
She doesn't want it now, does she?
That's right. Listen to B. What is this?
That is for you. I'm not going to let either one of you go to university without a proper breakfast.
Oh, right. Eat.
Okay, I guess
Thank
that
you.
told us, didn't it? Is Philip seeing Mindy Lewis?
How did you know?
Well, Mindy's not really the subtle type. You know, I've seen them in class together.
Well, I hope she takes care of him. He deserves to be happy.
Is that why you left home, to be with Philip?
No. There were other problems. Hey, don't worry about me, okay? I'll be fine. I'm going to be just fine. Oh, sure you will, honey. You got all your studies to occupy your mind. And besides, I am going to keep you very busy.
Yeah, don't laugh. She's not kidding.
Mm-hmm. Nobody stands on ceremony around here.
Like a big family, chores and all. You're going to fit right in. Promise.
You guys are so nice. Is it like this every morning?
No, sometimes it's kind of rough.
It is.
Once a week, B makes us eat oatmeal.
Oh, that's not funny. Did you ever get a big floppy, loopy clump of oatmeal stuck in your throat?
Oh, not fair, not fair. I put raisins in it and real maple syrup and everything. Honestly, nobody appreciates it.
Oh, Ma.
No, they don't.
do.
They
appreciate
don't.
you,
Mrs. Reardon, and so do I. Thank you.
Why don't you show Beth what you got?
Oh, that's right. Tony and I went Christmas shopping last night, and we were walking down Main Street, and we passed by this little art store.
Oh, I know the one with the little nice prints in the window.
Right. So my friend here tells me that this girl, Beth, that we know, is crazy about art.
So my friend here says to me, you know, that room that Beth is moving into is just a little bit plain. So...
From us to you.
Oh. It's not much. It's just a little something to say. Welcome.
The Monet water lilies. They're my favorite. How did you know?
I saw you carrying a book of the Impressionists around.
Yeah. Guy really knew what to do with a flower, didn't
Ah, they're beautiful against color of the wallpaper.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excuse me. You can't cry in here. This is a happy kitchen. We don't allow it.
I was so lucky that I found all of you. Mr. Spaulding, shall I cancel your next appointment?
No, I don't think that'll be necessary, Virginia. I'm sure whatever is on Mrs. Lewis's mind won't take that long.
Fine.
Close the door behind you, please.
You know, I just assumed that our little business matter was top priority. Am I wrong?
Reva, why do you tempt the fates by chancing that someone would see
now
us together?
simmer down, honey. I'm not dumb. If anybody asks why we were together, you just tell them that Miss Chamberlain had me over here to talk to her about buying her condo.
I didn't know you were planning to stay that long.
Well, I have to admit it, Sugar, and I'm having a little bit more trouble with this deal than I thought I would.
I thought you had everything under control.
Now, don't worry about it. When you got me here, you got yourself an expert.
I see. In that case, you don't need me.
Well, now, I don't know about that. Let's just say I could use your, masterful assistance.
What? The expert?
Well, it seems Vanessa Chamberlain is leading my Billy boy around by the nose.
Vanessa is herself an expert of sorts.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to split them up, I need a little broader power base here in Springfield.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, now you want me here, right? Billy boy doesn't. And unless my friends here in Springfield pack as much of a wallop as his friends do, he's going to ride me right out of here on a rail.
Ah, you want influence.
I want society influence. People that Billy would be afraid of upsetting if he packed me back to Tulsa.
You come between Billy and Vanessa on your own. I can't help you.
Now, you just wait one little second here. I think I've got my signals crossed. You wanted me to come, right? You wanted me to split them up.
That's right.
Well, I need your help, sweetie. I'm not going to beg.
All right, Reva.
What does all right, Reva, mean?
It's going to be a tea dance in a few days to benefit the hospital at the country club.
A tea dance? Oh, Lord.
And also to introduce a brilliant researcher, Dr. John Stevens.
Ooh, is he young, rich, and handsome? Well, you can forget about the young.
Now, everyone of influence in Springfield will be there. I can get you an invitation to the tea dance, but beyond that, you're on your own.
Well, now, sweetie, that's all I need, the invite. Because I can charm so many important people, Billy's just going to have to be sweet as pie to me. In public, anyway.
Andrews, issue an invitation to the tea dance to Mrs. Reva Lewis at the Springfield Towers. Handle it yourself. Fine. And keep it confidential.
Alan Spaulding, I like the way you do business. We're going to make quite a team.
Kodak introduces the extraordinary Kodamatic Trim Print Instant Color Film. Unlike an ordinary instant print, the extraordinary trim print lets you lift off the image to capture the color just the way you like it. And now look how slim I am. Here I am. I slip into places the ordinary bulky instant picture doesn't fit.
He didn't tell you. Trim print is only for Kodamatic instant cameras. What?
You didn't tell him it's only from Kodak.
Extraordinary trim print.
We asked minor arthritis pain sufferers why they depend on Bengay. Here's what they said.
The Bengay gives a lot of relief, and it lasts for hours.
Because it brings relief. And that's the most important thing, is relief.
This is my pal. I go to sleep with him every night, kid.
It takes away the pain. The warmth takes away the pain.
Until there is a cure found for arthritis, I will keep right on using the Bengay.
For arthritis pain, feel better with Bengay.
Wake it up, dress it up, any way you make it up, it's never go with Joe. Shake it up, dress it up, any way you make it up, it's never go with Joe. With Joe.
Dole Pineapple. Daring new food ideas with a familiar ring.
With Joe.
A flash camera for Paul, a radio for Linda, and the Energizer for all.
The Energizer.
Of all leading battery brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer from Eveready. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outruns, outplays, outshines, outlasts it. Nothing.
Tonight's one long night. I need the Energizer too.
The Energizer. Energize for life.
Long life.
Energize me!
Tonight,
I'm not going to the cafeteria.
a patient makes waves on Aftermath.
Give him lunch in bed.
Harder, son. Then Newhart plays marriage counselor.
Your marriage is in trouble because your wife thinks you're a wimp. You are a wimp.
Oh. And on Emerald Point,
I'm going to have you. It's just a matter of time.
Hillary's plans for Glenn take a nosedive.
We're going down.
Tonight.
Your turn to do the gardening?
Hi, how you doing? No, actually, this used to belong to Betty Smiley, so I'm just kind of trying to keep it going, you know, for her. Kind of dumb, huh?
I told you lately that I am very glad you're my little brother.
Where's the candidate?
Out pressing the flesh.
Why aren't you out there with him, huh?
Oh, what do you mean, standing there forgotten with the crowd? No, that lonely existence is reserved for the candidate's wife, not the campaign manager.
Oh, really? Candidate's wife, huh?
Would you stop it on that, okay? Is Billy around?
No, it's not.
Good, I'm glad.
You got a problem you want to talk about?
Yeah, actually I do. Josh, I think I know who set up that phony picture with Ross and that prostitute.
How could you possibly find out something like
Well, no, I didn't actually find out. It's just a feeling that I have.
Well, who is it?
Alan.
Alan Spaulding? Well, why would Alan Spaulding have it in for Ross? I thought he was supporting him all the way.
He was. I think it's because of me.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Right before I left Spaulding and went to work for Ross, Alan and I,
Oh, boy. Oh. You had an affair with Alan Spaulding?
he was very lonely, and I was too.
Couldn't you have found anybody besides Alan Spaulding?
Josh, Alan is a very persuasive and powerful man, but I can tell you definitely that I found out he is not the person I thought he was.
So much for women's intuition.
I believed that he cared for me. I thought he needed me. I saw what I wanted to see.
Trish, come on. You're a lot smarter than that.
I think I thought what a lot of women think, that I'm different, that, no, he can change and my love will make the difference.
But it didn't.
No. And when I went to work for Ross, I got far enough away from Alan to really see Alan. And I realized that I didn't want to have anything more to do with him. And I told him so.
Not a pretty scene, I bet.
Nope. And it was right after that that things started happening to Ross. Do you have to look at me like that?
I'm sorry. Your personal life is your business, I guess, huh?
That you're disappointed in me.
Alan Spaulding, of all people, I mean, he is a trophy hunter, Trish.
Well, our family doesn't always exactly have much sense when it comes to matters of the heart.
That's true.
Josh, what should I do?
Well, I would say that the only thing you really can do is tell Ross what you suspect.
No, I can't.
What do you mean? You can't. Ross's career is on the line here. I think he has a right to know.
But I am the cause of this. It is up to me to see that Alan doesn't do anything else.
So what are you going to do?
I am going to find a way to stop Alan. I cannot tell Ross.
Why not?
Because I care for him. Look how you reacted when I told you. You think I was a fool. What is Ross going to think? How can I possibly tell him that his whole career may be ruined because I got involved with the wrong man?
Right. I'll have to get back to you.
Philip, I need to talk to you. I need some help with something.
Well, what is it?
Listen, I know I've been doing this a lot lately, and I'm sorry, but this is very important.
That's what fathers are for.
Thanks. Does Bradley Rain still work here?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, Beth moved out of her house last night. He's going wild trying to find her right now.
Sounds like a pretty normal reaction.
No, it's not. Just take my word for it, it's not. He was at the stables this morning when I got there. From the looks of it, he'd been there all night waiting for me. He thought that she was with me.
She wasn't?
No, I haven't seen her. I don't know. She didn't come to me for any kind of help, so I guess if I didn't know it was over between us before, I do now.
Well, it's probably just as well, son.
It's what?
But I've been very concerned. I mean, ever since you started seeing Beth, there's been nothing but trouble. It's time to move on. There are plenty of other girls out there.
Okay, look, fine. We can discuss that at another time. But right now, I've got to find a way to help her. Will you give me a hand?
All right. What do you want me to do?
Okay, I want you to talk to Raines and tell him to leave her alone.
Philip, I'm his employer, not his guidance counselor.
I realize that, but he's afraid of you. I think he'll do anything that you tell him.
I'll do what I can to help. I really will, but I can't tell him how to handle his own daughter.
She is not his daughter.
Well,
look, somebody's got to try to find a way to help her.
Philip.
I can't do it, so I'm asking you to do it for me. Please.
I wish you had never become involved with any of the Raineses.
Would you please do this for me? Yes or no?
All right, I'll try.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I won't forget it.
Tell Bradley Raines I want to see him in my office. Someday you'll thank me for this, son.
Well, Spaulding Enterprises wasn't the same without you.
Well, I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
Well, I expected to find a mountain of work on my desk. Someone seems to have cleared it up, most of it.
Well, I did my level best. You and I are going to make quite a team, Daddy.
That's right. If we do say so ourselves.
Tell me something. Did Alan come in to welcome you back?
Oh, yes. Briefly.
Well, he's not going to be able to push us around anymore.
Oh, I am looking forward to dealing with Alan Spaulding.
Daddy, at first, I just want that to be a few hours a day.
Darling, I am fine. And even on a bad day, I can always keep a step or two ahead of Alan Spaulding.
Now that's my daddy.
Oh, it's okay, honey. Miss Chamberlain and I are old friends.
Excuse me.
Hello, Vanessa. It's so good to see you again.
I beg your pardon.
Let me guess. This must be your fiancé. Oh, you lucky thing, Vanessa. Sir, it's certainly a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Get happy.
Get happy. Now my cats get happy. Happy Cat from Purina. A moist and meaty tasting cat food that stays moist and meaty tasting all day. So cats stay happy all through the day.
Get happy.
Happy cat food. Its delicious meaty taste makes cats happy all day.
Lots of cold medicines with antihistamines make lots of claims about relieving all your cold symptoms. But there's something they don't talk about. Your tight, clogged-up chest. Because they have nothing to say. This is Head and Chest, the cold medicine that doesn't leave your chest out in the cold. Head and Chest not only unclogs your nose and sinuses, it unclogs your chest, too. They can't. Get Head and Chest. It doesn't leave your chest out in the cold.
Chicago, home of the world's tallest building, is also home to one of the world's best restaurants, Cricket's. Tonight, we're secretly replacing the fine coffee they usually serve here with dark, sparkling Folgers crystals. Let's watch.
It's got a real full, rich flavor. Very, very rich.
It's Folgers Instant.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't believe it. It's delicious.
Excellent.
My coffee from now on is Folgers.
Folgers crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
We'll continue with part 2 of Guiding Light in a moment. This week on The Young and the Restless.
What are you doing, messing around with somebody's wife?
He's been acting like it's open season on my wife, and it's about time someone taught him a little respect.
And tempers flare when Andy goes looking for Jack to settle the score.
Diane is my wife. You keep your slimy hands off her.
Maybe Diane's a little bit too much woman for you.
The Young and the Restless, weekdays.
This is CBS. The Big Star Price Finder helps you find the best regular prices. The Big Star Red Dot helps you find the best weekly prices. This week's Red Dot specials include
Ocean Spray Cranberry Juice Cocktail. 48-ounce bottle, just $1.49. Arm & Hammer Laundry Detergent, 227-ounce box. only $3.99. And Taster's Choice freeze-dried coffee, 8-ounce jar, just $4.99.
The Big Star Price Finder. Red Dot weekly specials. Big Star helps you find the best prices.
I'm not about to give my family a cough medicine with some strong drug in it. When we start coughing from a cold or flu, my husband and I take soothing Creel Motion, and I give my little one gentle Creel Motion for children. Creel Motion is made from natural ingredients. Nothing harmful, no narcotics, no drowsy side effects. I like that. Help relieve your family's coughs with Creel Motion and Creel Motion for children. The natural cough medicines I know you can trust.
For a cherished holiday gift, choose a luxurious Avanti fur at exciting holiday savings right now. You deserve an Avanti fur.
WAGA-TV, Atlanta. This portion of Guiding Light is presented by Oxidol Laundry Detergent and by Mild Ivory Liquid. It helps hands stay young-looking.
But it's not my fiancé. Oh, dear. I am so sorry. It's my father. Oh, now I can't believe that. Wait, I just, your daddy. Well, I can't believe that, you handsome thing. Well, you're not old enough to be Vanessa's daddy.
Oh, well, I've had a good deal of rest lately. My name is Henry Chamberlain, and you're, who?
Daddy, this is the woman that I was telling you about, the woman who wants to buy my penthouse. What's your name? Rita? No, it's Anita. Anita Ruiz. Yes, and I thought I would have heard from you about your apartment by now. That's why I came all the way over here.
Oh, and you want to buy my daughter's apartment in Springfield Tower?
Oh, Mr. Chamberlain. Yes, indeed, I do. It's so cold and lonely living in a hotel room.
Oh, yes, I can well understand
Yes,
that.
I'll just bet you can. You look like a traveler to me.
Well, I've...
I'll just bet you're so sophisticated and worldly.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, you'll have to tell me your travel tales sometime. That is, if I find a place to live here in Springfield, I'd really kind of like to stay.
Well, I think that can be arranged. Darling, you're going to sell your apartment to Miss Ruiz, aren't you?
Actually, Daddy, I hadn't made up my mind.
Well, it's just sitting there, eating its head off, gathering dust.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Well, darling, you don't intend to move back into it, do you?
No, I do not.
Well, there you go. I think you found yourself a place to live.
Oh, wonderful. I may, in fact, be willing to sell the apartment. But at any rate, you'll have to contact my lawyer, Mike Bauer, about that. You can find his number in the phone book. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
I hope that you and my daughter can get together on this apartment deal. It certainly couldn't have a more charming new owner.
Oh, now, Mr. Chamberlain, you be careful. You'll turn my head. Miss Ruiz, now that you found out what you wanted to know, Daddy and I need to work. Oh, yes, of course. I'm so sorry for inconveniencing you. But I just want to say one last time, it was pure pleasure meeting you.
Well, thank you, dear.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well.
Really, Daddy?
What do you mean, really, Daddy? You don't understand the charm of a nice old-fashioned girl.
I don't find Miss Ruiz charming or old-fashioned. I certainly hope I can sell this apartment soon so that I can forget all about Miss Ruiz.
Billy, what is that?
This here is Christmas tree, Josh.
Well, I hate to be the one to break this to you, but that is not a Christmas tree. That's a rubber tree.
Yeah, I know it's a rubber tree, but see, I was closer to the florist than I was to the Christmas tree lot, so I picked this up. And you know what? Come January, this thing don't shed.
That's true.
You know, you put a few red balls on, a little Santa Claus here, some tinsel. Ain't nobody gonna know the difference.
You know, I'm really glad you're getting married, Billy. You obviously need a woman's touch, you know?
Hey, look. I've had all the woman's touch I can handle.
Hey, don't you brag in my direction. I don't want to hear it, okay?
No. I'm not talking about Vanessa. I am talking about Reva.
Reva's still in town, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she sashayed up to Vanessa, bold as brass, at the country club the other night.
What was Reva doing in the country club?
Oh, she was having dinner with her. You're going to love this. With HB.
Ah, she's still playing HB, huh? Like some old fiddle or something.
Uh-huh.
So what did Vanessa say?
Well, she didn't know Reva was Reva because Reva told her she was Anita.
Anita Ruiz. Still putting up with Reva, huh?
I think they're still in cahoots. I tell you, that makes me kind of nervous.
So what did Vanessa say when she found out it was really Reva?
Well, she didn't say nothing because I didn't tell her.
You didn't tell her?
No, Hey, look, after the way I came down on Reva, she's going to be on a plane to Tulsa real quick.
Right.
Well, I'm going to run over to Spalding. I want to try out this here mistletoe on Miss Vanessa. But I'll be back for lunch.
Fine.
Oh, Josh, look. Hey, don't worry, okay? I can handle Reva Shane.
Bailey, nobody can handle Reva Shane.
Dr. Stevens? Dr. Stevens?
Hi. This is my efficient and lovely hospital tour guide.
I want to be your assistant.
Great. When can you start?
I'm serious.
So am I.
I'm a registered nurse. I've got a bachelor's degree in nursing now. I know this hospital backwards and forwards, and I can give you whatever hours you need.
Hey, you don't have to sell me. What does Dr. Bauer think about this?
Oh, well, I'm just working as a secretary till a nursing position comes along. He knows that I'm looking for something more challenging.
Well, that may be, but I'm sure he's going to miss seeing your smiling face outside his door.
Oh, right. I could start tomorrow.
You could start today
Oh.
by getting me out of some tea dance I'm supposed to attend at the country club.
But aren't you the guest of honor?
I'm not going to any tea dance. It's a little embarrassing. But, well, I'm allergic to these watercress sandwiches. I can't be in the same room with them.
I see.
Yeah.
Your secret's safe with me.
Great.
I'll see what I can do.
Great. You and I are going to get along just fine.
Yeah, I think so, too. I like your music.
Chopin.
Oh.
Nobody plays them like Kleiber.
Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm in by 7.
Right. I'm really excited about working with you, Dr. Stevens. Excuse me.
Can I help you?
It doesn't matter what she calls you. We both know who you really are.
Ivory Liquid presents Dishwashing Talk.
There I was in this traffic jam when it happened.
What happened?
Our song.
Our song?
Remember 1968 by our favorite group, the Boomerangs?
No, wait a minute. That wasn't it at all. It was by the Rondelets or something. And it went, shoo-doo, wah-wah-wah.
You're right.
Shoo-doo.
It was more romantic. And I held your hand at their concert.
I remember that.
Oh, your hands still look young and pretty.
I still use Ivory Liquid. That helps.
Ivory Liquid ever since then?
A woman needs something special to help keep her hands looking young and beautiful.
Hey, how about I hold those hands tomorrow night? There's a concert.
The Boomerangs are in town?
How about the symphony?
My favorite group.
Mild Ivory Liquid helps your hands look as young as you feel.
Have you ever been ashamed of your white shirt? Ashamed of your white robe? Or ashamed your white men's night? Then get Oxidol, and you won't get ashamed to show it. Whites.
If dingy Christmas whites make you say, bah, humbug, Oxidol's hard-working cleaners in color safe bleach will make you say, ho, ho, ho. Now, who'd money a Christmas stocking over and over? We did. Wash it each time in a leading liquid. Same here, but washed in Oxidol. You wouldn't be ashamed to hang the Oxidol stocking because it's whiter.
Don't show off your shirt. You're going to the store tonight. You got white about white. But with Oxidol, you won't get ashamed to show it white.
I can feel it.
It's so clean. I can feel it. I can feel stylish.
Discover a clean so revolutionary that even after 25 years, no soap has been able to match it. It's Zest Deodorant Bar, a better way to clean. See, Zest rinses away cleaner. Soap can't do that. In water, you can actually see the difference.
And I can feel the difference.
Discover Zest. A clean so clean, you can feel the difference.
Beg your pardon?
You don't remember me, do you?
No. I'm sorry, we met?
Oh, yes, we certainly have. Of course, you knew my wife a lot better than you knew me.
My God. Andrews, Warren Andrews.
It's all coming back, I see. Dr. Stevens.
I can explain. Look, I know this may seem strange to you, me impersonating Stevens.
It's not strange. Illegal.
It's not what it seems. I have his permission to do so. In fact, it was his idea.
Well, bully for you. He must have really wanted you out of South America. What did you do? Seduce his wife?
Stevens is dead.
So you borrowed his credentials. How convenient.
He wanted the research to continue. I was the only one that could do that without wasting valuable time.
Besides, you like sneaking around, making somebody else look like a fool.
He was afraid we'd lose the Spaulding Foundation grant.
I'd say his fears were justified. Do you know who I am? I'm the administrator of this hospital.
You are?
And as soon as I get back to my office, I'm calling the Spaulding Foundation and the AMA. I'll be damned if I let you get away with this.
Andrews, now wait.
No. Your luck just ran out.
This research is vital. Now, surely you must understand how important this is.
My wife was very important to me.
Was?
We're divorced.
I'm sorry.
Spare me your sympathy. You never cared for Liz. You used her. Then you dropped her, and you went running off to South America.
That's not what happened.
Don't tell me what happened. I was there. I was the one left to pick up the pieces. She fell apart. She couldn't cope, see? She finally walked out on it all. Her residency, me, everything.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Is she okay?
Guilty conscience all of a sudden? I don't keep in touch. I mean, there's no point in sending Christmas cards.
Look, you obviously couldn't care less about my personal reasons for keeping my identity secret.
You're right.
Then let me at least appeal to you on a humanitarian basis.
You've got to be kidding.
Do you realize how many lives we could save if we find a cure for this disease? Dr. Stevens himself died from it.
Others can do the research.
Now, without wasting time, valuable, precious time.
So you want to ride...
20 years could possibly be lost.
Your glory will be on somebody else's coattails, is that it?
I want to find a cure for this disease.
Well, it looks like the decision is mine, doesn't it?
That's right. Will you keep quiet?
I'll think about it.
This here be the business end of some mistletoe, lady. You gonna come across? Or do I have to get out that teapot?
Oh, I wouldn't dream of not coming across.
that's what I call a good way to start out the morning.
Let me see that. Did you come all the way over here just to show me this?
Well, no, I came to make sure you weren't getting too busy. You're not falling behind with the wedding plans, are you?
Oh, no, don't worry. They're coming along just fine.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear.
Oh, I'm glad you came over because there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Nothing's wrong?
No.
Oh, good.
Nothing's wrong. It's just that I wanted to make sure that, well, are you really sure about moving in with Mindy to the big house?
Well, I can't exactly speak for Mindy, but then on the other hand, she's a big girl now. She can take care of herself. My main concern is to make you happy.
Yeah, I know, but, well, you're used to having your own place.
Look, darling, I'll build you the biggest damn house this side of the Rio Grande if that's what you want.
Well, what do we do with a big damn house?
Oh, now. There's a whole bunch of things you can do in a big damn house. Besides, I know how important it is for you to be with your daddy.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I'm so lucky. You're so understanding.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to understand me before I have to go?
Yep. Quint and Nola.
Quint Nola. Well, now, Quint Nola, they're not your run-of-the-mill brother and sister-in-law. But I like them. I think they're unique.
Well, all right. Then it's settled? You move into Daddy's?
I'd move into a chicken coop if it meant I'd be bunkering with you.
Oh. I love you.
I love you, too. I gotta go back to work. Especially if LTA is ever going to take over Spalding Enterprise.
Oh. Mike Bauer, please. Mike? Hi, yes, it's Vanessa. Look, go ahead with the sale for the penthouse. There's a lady who's interested, and Billy and I won't really need it. Oh, her name? I believe that the lady said her name was Anita Ruiz.
The very woman I've been looking for.
How did this speech go?
Well, in all modesty, and if I do say so myself, I was a veritable smash.
Oh, you couldn't be anything but.
Spoken like my biggest fan.
You bet.
Oh, and guess what? No one, not a soul, even mentioned that phony photograph. So I don't think we're going to have any more trouble from that quarter.
Well, I hope so, but I think that we need to stay prepared.
Oh, come on, would you? If things continue as they are, I'm going to sweep this special election.
I hope so. I'm very happy for you.
You don't look very happy. You look like a professional skeptic. You keeping something from me?
I'm glad the lights were knocked off.
We should always have dinner by candlelight.
I'll talk to the weatherman.
I made some General Foods International coffee.
It's so dark in here. What flavor is this?
It's a secret.
It's so chocolatey. I detect a little mint. Come on, what is it?
I'm not telling.
It tastes like an after-dinner mint. Ah, it's Irish mocha mint.
That's cheating.
Celebrate the moments of your life.
With General Foods International Coffees.
Professor, what's that cereal you're enjoying?
Ah, yes, the dates, the raisins, the walnuts, fruit, and... It escapes me.
Post Fruit and Fiber cereal. It tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
The name, good question. It contains delicious fruit. It's fruit and... I forget.
Fruit and Fiber tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
It's fruit and... fruit.
Fruit and Fiber, also with apples and cinnamon. It tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
This is the most revealing hairspray ever introduced.
New Crystal Clear VO5.
New Alberto VO5 is unlike all these other leading sprays. See the dulling, blurring film they leave. Now see how new Crystal Clear VO5 reveals all your hair's natural beauty. And the Crystal Clear hold lasts for 14 fabulous hours.
New Crystal Clear VO5.
Reveals all your hair's natural beauty.
Ross, how badly do you want to win this election?
Are you kidding me? I've been waiting for this opportunity all of my life.
And now you have it.
Yes, and I'm going to make the most of it, too. The sky is the limit. Why are you asking me this?
I just needed to hear you say it.
Ah. Well, I'll say it again if you want. And, Trish, I'm very glad that you're here to share it with me.
Ross, I need
As a matter of fact, my life is surprisingly complete. And if 3 months ago you'd have told me that I'd be feeling like this, I'd have laughed in your face.
You would have, huh?
Well, maybe not your face. And I think I have Alan to thank for so much of this.
What?
Mm-hmm. He brought us together, didn't he?
Ross, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you have everything you want.
We've already done a hell of a lot.
Not as much as I can do.
Well. Horses give you the day off, or what?
Philip.
No, when you get a minute, I need to talk to you about something, okay?
Well, no, it's all right. Take it now. I've got a...
Well,
I have a meeting with the graphic artist on these new flyers. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, the new flyers. Just a second. I'm going to see you later, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Good to see you, Philip.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, what's happening?
Beth moved out of her house yesterday.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you find that out?
Well, Mr. Raines was waiting for me at the stables this morning.
Because he thought you were responsible, right?
You got it.
But you're not?
No, I'm not.
All right, here we go. Where is Beth right now?
I don't know. I just hope she's okay.
Yeah, so do I. I'm beginning to think that little girl's really been through the mill.
Oh, you can take my word for it, she has. And if Bradley finds her, it's not going to be over yet. He is a very violent man, especially when it comes to discipline and respect. I know what I'm going to do, Ross. I hate that guy. There's got to be something that we can do legally. Come on.
No, not until Bradley makes a violent move and Beth is willing to prosecute. And prosecution within a family. Do you know how rarely that happens?
Damn it, Ross. Come on.
I'm sorry, Philip. I wish there was more that I could do.
Yeah, sure would be nice to have the law on our side for a change.
It is, if the injured party will just use the law to protect themselves. But for some reason, people find that difficult to do.
Oh, hell. I talked to Alan about it already. I asked him to help. If anybody can fix it, I guess he can.
Mr. Raines, thank you for taking the time to see me this morning.
Yes, sir. Oh, well, I've been having a difficult time with my family. I was only 20 minutes late. See, my daughter, she ran away from home.
Please. I know all about that. That's why I wanted to talk to you.
Oh? What, your son told you what happened this morning?
Yes, he did.
I was wrong about him being involved.
Well, at a time like this, it's possible to jump to conclusions.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, well, yeah, you're so right about that.
Please sit down, Mr. Raines. You know, Philip and Beth have been nothing but trouble for each other since the day they met.
Oh, I know.
Well, I think I have a solution.
I gotta find Beth.
Yes, you do. And once you do, I think I can make sure that she never runs away again.
You can?
I spoke to a lawyer and to a judge on the family court over whom I have a certain amount of influence. You have a court appointment on Friday.
Court? Oh, no, I don't think I want to.
Now, all you have to do is show up at court with Beth. She will be remanded into your custody. She's under 18.
That's all? I mean, that's all the judge would do.
That's all.
And the law is on my side.
It is.
Well, then I'll find her. You can bet on that. We'll be there Friday.
That's fine.
No, wait a minute. What happens when she turns 18? That's only 3 months away.
In 3 months' time, Mr. Raines, you and your family will be so far away from Springfield that it won't matter.
What do you mean?
Yes, Virginia, would you bring in that agreement I asked you to type up? Thank you. I have a proposal for you, Mr. Raines. One I think that you'll like very much.
We'd like to remind you that a gift from Hickory Farms of Ohio could say Merry Christmas to someone rather tough to buy for. It can say nice job to that hardworking secretary, or we miss you to relatives who can't make it in for the holidays. But at Hickory Farms, our gifts also say something about the person who gives them.
Come to Hickory Farms.
Hello, Marge. We love it.
We'll give you a taste of old-time country goodness.
We want to see Inspector 12. Yeah! Inspector
Inspector 12, will you show the kids how you test Hanes underwear?
Sure. I test waistbands, the 100% cotton fabric.
Gee, Inspector 12, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
You do?
Yeah, a real test budget.
Every Hanes t-shirt and brief has to pass 11 quality tests and Inspector 12.
They don't say Hanes.
Until she says they say Hanes.
Now on sale, Hanes men's fashion underwear.
Si séduisant comme un rêve charmant, rêve éveillé, né dans un reflet, l'air du temps, c'est une vie enchantée. L'air du temps, Nina Ricci Paris, as romantic as the dreams a woman dreams.
Announcing news for home bakers. Before this ordinary dough goes into the oven, you'll be enjoying a loaf baked with new Red Star Quick Rise yeast. Look, it's still 100% natural, yet rises 50% faster. So while ordinary dough is still rising, you could be enjoying this loaf. Yes, baking's everything it used to be, only faster. With Quick Rise, the revolutionary new yeast from Red Star. 100% natural, 50% faster.
Tuesday.
I was born on this land.
He's fighting to save his farm, and he'll even cover up a murder to do it.
Did they tell you not to talk? Did they threaten you?
On the Mississippi. Then Rod Steiger is Commander Robert E. Peary.
The man who discovers the North Pole will cover himself in glory.
Richard Chamberlain is Dr. Frederick Cook. Peary received the glory, but who was really first?
Cook is a fraud.
A story of honor, passion, and betrayal. Cook and Peary, the race to the pole.
Hey, you don't have to do that.
I like drying dishes.
Well, I like being able to do something for all of you. You've been so good to me.
We like you. You okay?
I must have some dish soap in my eyes.
You miss home?
No. I miss my mama, but that's all.
You miss Philip Spaulding, don't you?
Could you hand me those glasses on the table, please?
No.
It's too late for me and Philip. He has Mindy now.
Do you love him?
I'll never love anyone like I love him.
Well, I'm very disappointed to see that you don't much like my homemade egg McMurlers.
You kidding? They're great.
You know, I wonder what it was that finally made Beth leave home.
Beats the hell out of me. I'm a little worried about that.
Bothers you, doesn't it, that she didn't come to you?
Sure does. Guess she's telling me doesn't want to be around me.
And yet you still want to be around her.
I sure do.
Even though you're seeing Mindy?
Mindy is, she's a very sweet girl. And I need her sometimes. But
Beth.
I'm never going to love anybody the way I love Beth.
Thank you, Virginia. Now, Mr. Raines.
Yes, sir.
I'm prepared to make you head of security at our operation in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Head of security?
Yes, you will oversee 40 to 50 men at least double the salary you're making now.
In Canada?
I'm also prepared to make a one-time payment, a very generous one, to expedite the travel and to help you buy a new home.
Why? Why are you doing all this?
Just find your daughter, take her to court on Friday, and then take your wife and daughter to Vancouver and start a brand new life.
But why are you doing all this?
Because I don't want them to ruin each other's lives, and neither do you.
No, sir.
They're just not right for one another.
No, sir.
Will you do what I ask?
Yeah, I certainly will, Mr. Spaulding. I don't know how to thank you for doing all this for me.
I'm not doing it for you or for me, Mr. Raines. I'm doing it for the children.
Joan? What's wrong?
I was just thinking how great everything is. My life, you and the kids. I want it to last.
I'll make us some coffee.
Times like these are made for taster's choice.
The best tasting coffee is the freshest tasting coffee. And every cup of Taster's Choice decaffeinated is fresh because it's freeze-dried fresh. Taster's Choice. Fresh taste for you.
Weekday afternoons, let Fantasy Island take you away to a tropical paradise filled with glamour, mystery, and intrigue, where your favorite stars experience what dreams are made of.
I think I've died and gone to heaven.
Open the casket!
Fantasy Island, The Great Escape, weekday afternoons at 4:30 here on TV5.
This has been Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South Southwest, and Barney's. Jewelry by Stephen Dweck.
Good afternoon from CBS News. This is Newsbreak. Rescuers are still searching through the wreckage of the bombed American embassy in Kuwait, but so far there is no word of any Americans killed. 2 to 5 other persons were killed. Some Americans were injured. A little-known terrorist group calling itself the Islamic Holy War says it carried out the attacks. Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Aaron said today the explosions in Kuwait should be blamed on PLO leader Yasser Arafat. Aaron said Israel would seek to prevent Arafat's evacuation from Tripoli. President Reagan, traveling under extraordinary security provisions, went to New York City today to say American military power is back on its feet and our days of weakness are over. At Fort Bragg, North Carolina, the last combat troops from Grenada began to arrive home. By the end of this week, all combat troops will be out. Now this.
America's favorite variety of jams and jellies is made with no preservatives or artificial flavoring.
Naturally.
With a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
The United States Supreme Court declined today to order an operation on the severely deformed infant known as Baby Jane Doe. The Supreme Court also rejected a claim that the agreement breaking up AT&T is unfair to local companies. It ruled the local companies will have to pay the costs of telephone hookups, even if that costs the consumer more. I'm George Herman, CBS News, Washington. We'll have more news later on this CBS station.
This is CBS.
If you can type and pass a general skills test, the IRS has a job for you. To help process this year's tax returns, we'll teach you to be a data transcriber. No special experience is required, and the IRS will give you paid training to learn a new skill. Don't wait. Training starts now. Take advantage of seasonal work. Day or evening shifts available. The IRS offers a good salary plus excellent benefits. For information about testing, call 455-2455. The IRS is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Tommy Lasorda. How do you spell relief?
Roger, for my heartburn, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
For millions, Rolaids spells 100% relief.
Special kinds of people can make your life worthwhile. Special kinds of people can always bring a smile. They know how to brighten up your day, doing things a special kind of way. People make it special in all the things you do, especially at Eyewitness News.
On TV5. Soap, weekdays at 5.
This is it, this is it. This is life, the one you get. So go and have a ball. This is it, this is it. Straight ahead and rest assured, you can't be sure at all. So while you're here, enjoy the view. Keep on doing what you do. Hold on tight, we'll muddle through one day at a time. One day at a time. So up on your feet, somewhere there's music playing. Don't
I'm sorry, really.
Oh, Michael, you got a minute?
Sure, what's up?
I'd like you to have a talk with a post-op patient of mine. A kid by the name of Eddie Carson. He's depressed, losing weight.
The little kid?
Oh, he's 15. Traffic accident. I pulled out a Lafort 3 periorbital fracture with no problem at all, but the skin graft on his cheek didn't completely take.
He's scarred.
Yeah, and refuses to deal with it. I mean, I'm doing all I can for him medically, but he needs your help.
I'd be glad to see him.
White was on the ball medically that night, I can tell you that.
These undercover people can be very deceptive. An old classmate of mine from Berkeley got targeted last year. They carted him away in handcuffs.
There must have been a good reason for it.
2 in all for a chronic pain patient. And he's pretty sure that it was another doctor set him up.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, you know the case?
I know human nature.
In other words, where there's smoke, there's fire. Some guy gets accused of something, that automatically means he did it?
Usually.
Ever heard of the Constitution?
Tell me about it.
Well, it's in one of those amendments somewhere. The point is that we're all guaranteed the presumption of innocence.
Is there going to be a hearing?
You said it, Cheryl. There's going to be a public flogging with pillories and everything, and we get to throw fruits. Dr. Craig, this package is for you. Don't touch it. It's ticking.
It's definitely ticking. Could be a metronome or an egg timer.
Could be an artificial heart.
Or a bomb. I'm serious. I get phone calls, strange letters. My car has been tampered with.
Are you going to open it?
Well, it's addressed to me, isn't it? Why would anyone send me a clock?
Time does not stand still for hearts that beat together. With love from the woman who waits for our next encounter.
Your next encounter?
Crackpot.
Who is this?
How the hell should I know? Maybe it's from your wife. Ellen's digital all the way.
I don't know. This is a pretty intimate note from a total stranger. Are you holding something back from us?
The woman's obviously a lunatic. I'm going to find out who it is. Put a stop to this nonsense right away.
I didn't know Mark was a player.
I had a run-in with the medical examiners myself years ago. The patient was a 63-year-old Jehovah's Witness. Very sick man, totally dehydrated. Anyway, he claimed that I medicated him without his consent. 0.45% saline and glucose intravenously.
Were you facing 5 years of probation?
No, this was in the old days.
Then I don't think it's quite the same thing. I'd be better off if I was a junkie.
Have you given any thought to your defense?
What defense? Dr. Westphal, I gave the woman the pills. What I want to know is what sort of a person would take advantage of her own daughter in order to pull off a stunt like this.
I don't know. But that isn't the issue here, is it?
You know, I keep going over the whole thing. I knew it was stupid, dangerous, but the woman was so desperate. I just wanted to help her. And what does that say about my clinical judgment, about my common sense? What kind of a doctor would do that?
Very tired doctor? A doctor with some sensitivity and compassion?
Doctor who doesn't trust anybody anymore.
Peter, I'm having a meeting this afternoon with Joan Halloran. We'll straighten this thing out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Afternoon, Eve.
Wasting your time around here, Mark. Everything's just hunky-dory.
Well, that's good to hear. You've been doing those isometrics I showed you? Let me see that. Not bad.
Mark, I'm getting bed sores. You know what I'd really like to do is take a nice long walk around the block.
It won't be long.
And I'm not drinking any more of that homogenized chalk dust.
I hear you've been asked for an interview by Boston Week magazine. Sounds like an interesting idea.
Why don't you do it?
They want the transplant from your perspective. Should be able to talk about that. Tell them how you feel.
I feel like hell. Sure, I'll talk to him. I'll tell him we probably should have let me die.
Eve.
I mean it.
I want you to listen to something. It turns out the woman was wired. She's a plainclothes investigator for the state police.
I hate to ask you for a refill, but God knows how else I'll get it. That's the pharmacy in Gloucester and the label with my doctor's name on it.
I've heard it already. This isn't Watergate, Donald. There's nothing there.
Just listen to this last part.
Believe me, Mrs. Russ, drugs will not solve your problems.
I've got one problem, Doctor, sleeping. And once I get that under control, everything else will take care of itself.
Entrapment. Pure and simple.
Illicitly dispensing controlled drugs is a real problem.
Sure it is. But this agent was preying on Peter White's sense of compassion.
There are a small number of lousy doctors out there who hand out unprescribed drugs like candy. And I personally can't think of any other investigative technique that can solve the problem.
This woman isn't looking to correct abuses. She's looking for a scalp, or a promotion, or a bigger budget for her little bureau she works in.
Donald, he prescribed without pathology. He failed to perform a good faith examination. He dispensed a class 3 drug without a proper label.
She lied to him.
The board has a clear mandate from the legislature to do something about drugs. It's a highly political situation. Yeah.
Sorry, but I've got Senator Bauman on line 4. He says it's urgent.
You knocked on the right door, that's for sure. And ordinarily I'd be glad to help, but I think in this particular case, both of us are wasting our time. Hello, Senator. No, I haven't had a chance to talk to the mayor.
I miss the milk more than anything, I guess. Pasture land is so rich in grain over there, you can test the milk and tell which county it comes from.
What happened after you moved to the city?
Nothing. Belfast is very beautiful.
That's nice. Where's that?
Just round the Glen Bay. We used to go there every summer.
Are you in a lot of pain, Eddie?
I can live with it.
I had an accident myself when I was a kid. It was a bicycle accident. Of course, it wasn't nearly as bad as yours.
Did you get scars?
Yeah, I did. Right on my leg. I remember I wouldn't wear a bathing suit for the longest time. I guess that's pretty stupid, huh?
I guess I could always wear a ski mask.
I was so angry at myself because I knew that it was my fault.
We always had bikes when we lived in the country. We'd go all over, me and me brothers. Little trails to the hills around Lough Erne. You needed a bike with fat tires.
Are they in Ireland?
Who?
Your brothers.
Your brothers are both dead.
I'm sorry to hear that. How did it happen?
Pneumonia, one of them. I don't want to miss dinner.
What do you do when it's only 4:30?
Me aunt's bringing in some home cooking. They've got a little pub a couple of streets from here.
Eddie, call me up, okay? Anytime you want to talk or anything.
My only real concern here is the proximity of the lesion to the anomalous vein. You could be in real trouble with this vascular invasion. I take it you know something about this?
No, sir, nothing. I was just wondering how it survived the prep.
I get calls in the middle of the night. I get an antique clock.
It's be indelible.
Never mind, we'll cut through it. The person's dangerous. Whoever did this broke through hospital security.
I wouldn't say dangerous.
What makes you say that?
What I meant is not necessarily dangerous.
Who? You know, don't you?
Not really.
Either you know or you don't know.
Well, I know she's eccentric.
You're eccentric, Ehrlich. This person is certifiably insane. There is a subtle difference.
But she's a resident.
Good. Now we're getting someplace. A very eccentric female resident.
Dr. Craig, it would be betraying your trust if I said any more.
Ehrlich, take a good look at the OR. It'll be the last one you ever see unless you give me her full name, stat.
Kathy Martin.
That wacko in pathology?
Frankly, sir, I'm envious. I wanted to get to know her better for a long time.
Ehrlich, the woman is a turnip.
Well, my mother always said to chew my vegetables.
You're a pig, Ehrlich.
Yes, sir.
Scalpel.
This is the brand new GE Ultra Oven Broiler. Amazing all the things you can get out of it. Steak or pork chops, cherry pies, coconut drops and big wide eyes, burgers, bacon, beans and franks, marble cake and hearty thanks, things with wings and things in rings, things with cheese and second squeeze, baking, broiling, warming too. That's what this'll do for you. The new GE Ultra Oven Broiler. P.S. It still makes toast.
GE, we bring good things to life. Live it to the limit. Live it to
Atlanta-Constitution's first edition is reporting that Evans may be out. But Eyewitness News political reporter Barbara Nevins tells us tonight that Evans has reached an agreement with Governor Harris. He will retain his job as head of the state prison system for the immediate future. Governor Harris arrived back in Georgia tonight after attending a conference of the nation's governors in Washington. Leaders of the National Governors Association took a federal deficit-cutting plan to the White House today and met with the president's open opposition. The plan calls for deep budget cuts, including cuts in defense spending. President Reagan addressed the governors at their conference this afternoon, and he blasted the idea, saying the economy is already on the upswing. And Democratic Governor Harris agrees.
I share his optimism, particularly in Georgia. I think we're more fortunate than a lot of the other states because our indicators are reflecting a lot of stability, and we're seeing improvements on the horizon, and I'm optimistic. I share his optimism.
Harris told Eyewitness News reporter Marilyn Burkle that defense industries play a strong part in Georgia's economy, and he is behind Reagan's plan for increased military spending.
Certainly I am, and we've got a lot of military bases in Georgia, and we've got a lot of military people employed in Georgia, and I think a strong defense is necessary for our nation, and certainly I support his program in that respect.
A number of other governors also indicated problems with the proposal. They vote on the plan tomorrow.
Forrest, in other economic news, gold prices take a big drop and OPEC tries for a united front. Gold in New York plunged to $401 after nervous speculators and investors began a mass unloading. They were reacting to fears that Arabs and the Soviet Union will have to sell gold because of lower oil prices. In Paris, a group of OPEC oil ministers met to try to reach an agreement on a price cut. There's no word on the outcome of that meeting. Today's falling gold prices also brought the stock market down, with prices slipping from last week's record highs. Recent cuts in the prime lending rate probably will not be the last, according to local bank officials. Bruce Williams of First National Bank of Atlanta and Bank of the South's Frank Burke agree that the prime could drop below 10.5%. Their banks, along with Trust Company and CNS, moved to lower the prime on Monday.
In the U.S. steel industry, union and management officials say they have reached tentative agreement on a new contract. They say they hope concessions made by both sides will help make U.S. steel more competitive with foreign producers. The union is agreeing to a week's less vacation time and a pay cut of $1.25 an hour, while the industry says it will do more to help unemployed steel workers. U.S. steel producers say they lost a record $3.3 billion last year.
And in Marietta, the Air Force is getting an improved version of the C-5A Galaxy cargo plane. Lockheed is adding a strengthened wing following problems with the original wing. A total of 77 C-5As are being refitted at the Marietta plant.
And still ahead on TV5 Eyewitness News Update, police in Las Vegas say they have a suspect in the planting of several bombs on the Strip.
And in a special report, TV5's Jim Kay with word on teenage drug abuse and a brutal murder in Sandy Springs. Those stories and more coming up.
Aren't you tired of ho-hum burgers?
Let Long John Silver
Shrimp and fish special.
put a smile on your taste. 4 great shrimp to make your day, plus a golden fish fillet.
Shrimp and fish special.
It's a very special meal and a very special deal. Let Long John Silver's put a smile on your taste.
Well, this 18-wheeler came a-bawling along down I-10 east of El Paso. The lady driver was cute, so we tailed that old brute till we noticed we was low on gas. So we coasted on into Phoenix, though we couldn't hardly manage a smile. At Phoenix, they're my kind of mighty fine, friendly folks smile at the country mile. At Phoenix, they're my kind of mighty fine, friendly folks. They're my kind of folks at Phoenix.
My baby's hair wasn't looking bad. Its condition was really sad. Let's go to Treasury Drug and try something new. Clairol Condition and Condition 2. That's a prescription for beautiful hair. And Treasury Drug's price is really fair. $159. Your hair looks fine. For Clairol Condition, trust Treasury Drug.
Treasury Drug, the one you can trust.
Of all the MasterCard and Visa cards available today, not one of them offers you all 10 of the benefits of Citibank cards. Like up to 50% savings on long-distance calls, high-yield special CDs, and high interest on savings. Citibank even gives you a bonus every time you use their card. So compared to these, the others just don't stack up. Citibank. It pays to use our cards.
The slaying of a Sandy Springs convenience store clerk, allegedly at the hands of 2 area teenagers 2 weeks ago, is now prompting concern about possible widespread drug abuse by students at Crestwood High. In an Eyewitness News special report, TV5's Jim Kay talks to parents, to students, and to teachers about the shooting.
19-year-old Hayden Hall and 17-year-old Mike McCart. Their pictures almost look as if they'd been taken for a high school annual. Instead, they are police mugshots, the 2 boys charged with robbery and a brutal murder.
This was cold-blooded murder.
James DeSussis said his son was an angel. 24-year-old Jimmy DeSussis was alone February 16th at a Sandy Springs convenience store when he was robbed and murdered for $32.
They claimed that they just wanted to hit him over the head, and that was it. But then they shoot him, he falls, and then they shoot him in the back of the head.
Hall and McCart, police say, have signed confessions admitting the murder. Fulton County Police Lieutenant Nick Nixon says the boys claim they were under a heavy dose of LSD at the time of the robbery.
His involvement in drugs is what did it. I mean, if he were to take it after that night, it would have never happened.
Students here say they remember both McCart and Hall. McCart they know well. He dropped out of school here last December, and 2 days before the murder came here to visit a girlfriend. The kids say many of them were well aware of McCart's involvement with drugs. This is Crestwood High School in North Fulton County. It's in an area referred to as the Golden Ghetto. There's money here, and no worse a drug problem than any place else, according to the school's principal.
Well, there's drugs in all schools. This school as well as all others. To what degree they're in the schools is, of course, determined by the local communities. We feel like at this particular school that there's less drugs than there's ever been before.
Principal Stanley Moses says Crestwood is a typical metro area school, and he is very sensitive about questions concerning drug use among his students. He says McCart's alleged involvement in drugs and murder distorts the reality of Crestwood High School drug use. The student council president here says Crestwood is different from other schools. What's different about the school?
Most of the parties we have and stuff, the only drug there is alcohol. And I've been to other parties parties from different schools where they're doing just about anything.
Students here say they are shocked by what has happened to a former classmate involved with drugs. They don't argue about the use of drugs among students here, only the extent of it. More who do than don't?
Right. I don't think
Not necessarily heavy.
I don't think that either.
17-year-old Mike McCart, along with 19-year-old Hayden Hall, faces a grand jury indictment for murder. DeKalb County Police Major E.E. McCart, the younger boy's father, has told Eyewitness News he only recently learned of his son's drug problems. He said, "I wish he could be the last one with that problem, but I don't think so." Jim Kay, TV5 Eyewitness News, update.
In DeKalb County, fire officials tonight are looking for the cause of a fatal motel fire. 22-year-old Ramona Rafour found dead in her room at the Dinkler Belvedere Motor Inn on Memorial Drive. Authorities say she died of smoke inhalation. Only one room of that motel was severely damaged by fire. One resident said he tried to rescue Rafour, but he just couldn't get there in time. And in Las Vegas, police say a man who escaped from prison only 3 days ago is their prime suspect tonight in an apparent extortion plot. Hundreds of tourists were evacuated from their rooms after bombs were found at the Stardust, the Frontier, and the Desert Inn motels. Executives of a movie theater say they paid an undisclosed amount of money to an extortionist after receiving threatening phone calls. Police say their main suspect was serving time for a similar extortion plot when he escaped.
Los Angeles reporters tell Eyewitness News tonight that the storm of the year may be heading for California. 3 inches of rain could fall before tomorrow night on top of the 2.5 inches from this weekend. In the Northern California town of Hayward, 3 houses are threatened by mudslides. The high winds and strong tides did not keep the surfers away. But over in Santa Barbara, President Reagan's motorcade was held up because the roads to his ranch were flooded out.
Ken, you know, they have had such bad weather out there this year. Is there no hope for them now?
Well, I think after this week there should be hope. Things look like they're bad everywhere, but I've got good news for you folks here in the Atlanta area, and I'm going to have that for you next.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it
Fresh! We'll only serve you plump, wholesome chicken that's just been cooked.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it
special. Only original recipe chicken is cooked under pressure, the Colonel's way, so the seasonings are squeezed into each juicy bite.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it
great.
It's America's favorite chicken. Mine too.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Could you tell me how to get to the Chevrolet dealer?
That'd be Nally.
Oh.
Take I-85 south, take you Stewart Avenue exit, take you right, and there it is on the left.
Or maybe a Honda.
Honda?
Yeah, Honda.
That'd be Nally.
Oh.
Take I-85 south, take you Stewart Avenue exit, take you right, and there it is on the left.
Okay, well...
You wouldn't be interested in a good deal, would you?
Good deal, sure.
Oh, well, that'd be Georgia's largest dealer.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
That'd be Nally. Take I-85 south, take you Stewart Avenue exit. You catch on fast.
Thank you.
For every football fan whose life deflates after the pro football season, start to get pumped up again. Because starting in March, the new exciting USFL Pro Football League on ESPN, the Total Sports Network. 2 nights a week, great teams, star coaches, top players, a full, complete pro football season just when we need it. On ESPN, where the cheering never stops. To get ESPN, call your cable service.
In recent months, over 2 million drivers switched to Shell. Let's listen to some of them.
I switched to Shell because the price of doing business doesn't vary with the method of payment.
They're great. They're friendly. They're nice. They're outgoing. They make me feel at home.
At the other stations, they charge more for a credit card customer than they do for a cash customer.
My Shell station stays open for 24 hours. I like it a lot. It's more convenient for me.
Try going to Shell. You might like it. I did.
You know, it seems like we've gotten an awful lot of rain this winter.
Sure does. Are we over for the year now?
You know, if I hadn't believed it myself in black and white from the National Weather Service, I would say we're way over, but we're actually behind about an inch and a half. That's right, folks. We've had about 8 inches of rain so far this year, but of course it's rained every other day. But the normal is about 9.5 for the first 2 months of the year, and we certainly haven't gotten to that. The reason, of course, it seems so wet, the rain has been so often, but the fast-moving storms have given us less rain than we normally would get. Now, low pressure in South Georgia is going to move right on up through Georgia tonight, and once it moves into the Carolinas, our skies are going to start to clear. Let's take a look at our conditions now in Atlanta at 11 o'clock tonight, 47 degrees. That's the high. The old high was 46, 40 the low, 79 the record high, 13 the record low in the state. It's raining now about a third of an inch here at TV5 and 2700s at the airport. Humidity at 93%. Winds northeasterly 15 to 25 miles an hour. The barometer steady now. Sun rising at 7:07, going down at 6:34. As we take a look at that live color radar, we're going to see that the rain is still around us, so it's going to continue light to moderate for the next several hours, but it's going to go away tomorrow morning. The satellite photograph indicates that we've got a spinning low down there in southwest Georgia and northwest Alabama, and it's moving up to the northeast. Once this cloud shield out of Mississippi and Alabama moves away, clearing will come in. We'll see that now as we take a look at our traveler's forecast for tomorrow around the country. And starting out in the southeast, yes, clearing is the forecast for tomorrow, and warm weather is the forecast for Wednesday, with temperatures really responding nicely by Wednesday. Our rain will move up into the northeast, with temperatures highs in the 40s and 50s tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, not seasonal, above average in the Midwest, 40s and 50s for highs. The mild weather continues out west, but so does the rain, especially in California. Showers all the way to Las Vegas and Phoenix. Temperatures will rise in many areas into the 70s, 20s and 30s trying to get out of the country, 40s and 50s over a big portion, 60s and 70s down here in the south and the southwest. My forecast for Atlanta vicinity looks like this. The rain ends tonight. Let's hear it for that. 40 degrees for a low, clearing tomorrow up to 58 degrees, sunny Wednesday up to 66, and would you believe this, 72 on Thursday. But as in all good things, they must come to an end. We'll be looking for some more showers around Friday or maybe Saturday. But maybe
Right
Saturday.
in time for the week.